everybody, hey, we are just wrapping up. We're about to do the last speakers here. We've got some special guests in Miles Standish and Orlando.
He's been there a long time. He first created coins with
This is a really special
He worked with past
announcement.
presidents Ford and H.W. Bush. He has 2 best-selling books that have changed the lives of over 600,000 children over the last 9 years, because all proceeds go to this children's foundation of his wife's. Okay? He has a mission on helping others. He doesn't take an ounce of profit from those books and their bestsellers. He's created thousands of unique labels for coins, including astronauts, presidents, and over 50 Hall of Fame sports heroes. And guys, he's just getting started. There's more to come, okay? And you're gonna see some here in a minute. He never gives up. He's also been called the creator of the modern collector, as he shared his ideas with his father back in the 1980s about what he saw as a vision for the modern collector. He's known around the globe for helping businesses grow their segment in coin industry. And Miles' goal is to help others first. Now, all of his ideas are exclusive to NGC. He is now the vice president of NGC, and all of his ideas are exclusive to NGC. But he also has a big desire to help 7K metals and all of you. And that's what's awesome about this individual. Miles is an expert host on a cable TV show. You'll probably see him in the evenings if you watch. You might see him on TV. And Donald Trump calls Miles a leader and a genius in the collectible field. So ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the stage Vice President of NBC, Mr. Miles Standish.
I'm so happy to be here. This is, I've done 1,000 conventions. I've been in the coin grading business or the coin industry. Started in the middle 70s in small Midwestern town, and my mom wanted to keep me busy and out of trouble by looking at coins in the kitchen table. That's what sparked my interest. By about 14 or 15, I started buying and selling coins at trade shows. By 17, I was traveling the nation to major shows, buying and selling coins. I've been working in the coin grading room since Ronald Reagan's first 4 years in office. To give you an idea of how long I've sat in a dimly lit room with about 10 or 12 other experts and 20 experts in some cases looking at coins. And that's what I did for about 25 years of my work. And what I do now and what I've done for the last 20 plus years in a combination of grading coins, but it was developing programs that would make people around the globe want to collect coins. And that might be a special label. It might be an autograph that pertained to a label. As Jason mentioned, one of the first presidents that I ever worked with was Gerald Ford. And, thank goodness he was a Michigan man like me. And we hit it off. I used to show up because I grew up in the town of Kalamazoo, Michigan, which was the celery capital of the world. And when I would show up either in Colorado or in Palm Springs, he would say, "Hey, the celery kid's here." And the only reason I got to work with H.W. Bush is because Gerald Ford called up H.W. and says, "You'll have fun, work with Miles." So it's always great to get endorsed by people I work with. And I've had a history in my career of always finding the next person because of great relationships that I built. And I can say that, I can stand up here and say, I'm one of the great coin experts in the world, but really what made me really good at what I do is the relationships I made everywhere throughout our industry. And that's really what grew ultimately both grading services. Even today, a lot of the programs that are developed, they're used in both services. You may have heard of the term first strike before. I came up with that almost 15 years ago. And of course, with NGC, they have early release, so each grading service has its own brand in that department, but I created that program. So it's kind of fun to see, two companies combined. With NGC, we've graded more than 50 million items in its 30-plus year history. And, I worked, you're probably wondering, switching grading services. I was within PCGS for 29 years and went to work with NGC 4 years ago because I believed that I could do more globally there. I thought they had the better vision of that, and I wanted to expand it to the whole world, which wasn't quite happening yet. Europe is slow to doing that on certified coins, but I'm not going to give up. I'm kind of like the proverbial dog on the pork chop. If I believe it'll work, I won't let go of the idea. And I think that you'll find with many of the things that you see in packages or graded by NGC, years ago when I was coming up with those ideas, I had more naysayers than believers that it could work. And like I mentioned, Jason had mentioned about my father, the modern coin striking by the U.S. Mint started in 1982 under Ronald Reagan. The Silver Eagle program, which was signed in 1985 by him, started in 86. That was really the birth of what I saw as the opportunity to expand the market base, expand collectors, and I got a little help from some other things that happened along the way besides certification. The internet obviously came about in the mid-90s, the state coder program, which was, just something, if I can be anything, I'll write a great smart code, and the smartest code was to jump on the internet and state coder program because it introduced hundreds of millions of collectors in this country. But, so you can see I have a lot of vision of what I like to do. I get paid today at a job that I love because it isn't work. Most people wonder, what's he doing? But the coins end up in the holders, and that's ultimately, which is my objective, is to figure out how to have U.S. Mint, world mints, come up with coins that appeal to people that want to own gold and silver coins. And like I said, I've had nothing but fun with those type of things along the way. And as far as vision is concerned, I've added a couple of books. There's a book that's available here, of course, that you've all been buying. The American Silver Eagle book. Thank you. My parents here. The American Silver Eagle book, which is co-authored with the man that designed the reavers. In the history of the U.S. Mint, there's been 13 chief engravers, and I had this idea. I'm going to go to this guy at the Mint that designed this Silver Eagle. He worked for the government for 43 years, and I pleaded with him for a year to retire. And he said, Miles, I'm Italian. My grandfather died and worked till he was 85. My father worked and died till he's 85. And I just don't know if he'll keep me busy. Well, I'll just give you an example. John McCanty signs over 100,000 autographs a year for me. And that started in 2011. And that's been nothing but growth. And to give you an idea about chief engravers, that's in the history of the U.S. Mint that George Washington set up. There's only been 13 of them. That's it. These are great artists. And of course, that was an idea nobody believed in. I did because I thought you got to marry another collectible with another collectible and put it in that package as authentic. And that's what people want to collect is authentic collectibles, and that's all I do. I have a little experience in autographs, and that's why I knew that it would appeal to people. So I made a lot of coin collectors, autograph collectors too, just with one program. But there's about 15 different signers at NGC that we've added along the way that are either, astronauts, athletes, war heroes. It's just been, a phenomenal run. And on my trip here, I'm going down to DC and talking to a few people that maybe I could have them leave Washington and do some work with me. So there's more things to come. And that's my full-time job. What's my next idea? And I really usually challenge myself all the time. I ask myself out loud, what can I create that I know the collectors want to own? And that might even be a famous person, a famous label, or a coin that is tied to a famous part of either global or American history. So you can kind of see that's been my repertoire with both books, coin grading, and labels. And I've had some other dreams along the way that I finally said, you know what? I'm just gonna tell somebody my idea. And it was an idea that I believed. I probably couldn't get anybody I worked with to believe that it would work. But the concept and the idea meant a lot to people. So I had a vision in my mind for a number of years. I'm going to say it was about 7 years. So you can see I didn't act too fast on it. Somebody that I'm going to introduce here in a second can tell you a little bit more about that. We're going to show that to you. Why don't you come up, Orlando?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said, you need to meet Orlando. He's the Liechtenstein version of Miles. That was a good friend telling me that. And I consider that a compliment after I met Orlando, because I knew that we'd have synergy together of ideas and thoughts and work well together. Here it is 7 years later. And, today we're going to offer something very specific of our collaboration together. You want to tell them? I mean, we've been kept secret on this good. But they haven't even seen. There's clues all over the room. They got clues on their badges.
Really?
Yes, they do. First of all, let me start by asking you all to please give a big applause to Miles Standish. He's been a mentor to me, inspired me in many different ways. I can only advise each and every one of you have the time to talk with him a little bit. He has so much to share. He carries so much knowledge with him. Now, when Miles approached me,
We got more help.
Hold on. Thank you.
Get ready, everybody.
There we go. You guys hear me? Great. First. Second of all, I would like to ask you all to give yourselves a big applause. They're really. Yesterday I came in here and I wanted to understand more. So I tried to blend in, and I had the opportunity of talking with several people here. I got to meet billionaire, got to meet millionaires, I got to meet company owners, I got to meet postman, I got to meet nurse, I got to meet
A few truck drivers.
truck drivers.
Absolutely.
That was amazing. I got to meet an American hero. That stand for this country. You know who you are? Please stand up.
Please.
Please. Rob. With the grandmother, grandfather,
A great-grandmother, I met.
yeah, it was amazing. So you guys have something in common. You guys are learning to get out of the rat race. The race that is meant for you guys to never weep. And you guys understood it, that with silver and gold, you decide. Not your government decides. You decide. And that's something very important. Now, what I'm here to bring to this company is take you guys to the next level. Bring to you the technology of today. Now, when Coin Invest Trust and CIT, this company that I work for, when we started, this is about, it's going to be 50 years now. We've been 50 years in the market. Some of you may know us. Some of you may not know us. We are the secret. We are that, what the mints don't want you to know. Now, some of you may have seen the Spider-Man coin. That was done by us. Thank you. Some of you guys may have seen the Al Capone coin. That was also done by us. And now we're going to take it to the next level because we're going to be developing exclusively for you. The U.S. Mint is going to bring out the very first color coin.
Next year, 2020.
2020.
With the basketball Hall of Fame.
That technology we brought out, I would say, about 30 years ago. A lot of the mints nowadays, when our Michael Thorpe came in, our president came in and saw the future, everybody laughed at him. How many of you have been in situations when you've gone and presented your great idea and been laughed about?
Yeah.
Please raise your hand.
Oh, yeah.
How many of you guys have heard this word? It's impossible. Nobody's gonna buy it. You don't belong here. And I'm here to tell you that each and every one of you belong here.
Yeah.
Now, with what we're about to give you guys will quickly understand how easy it is to sell a product. Now, we are about to bring you into the artistic side. You guys, I don't have to explain to you what a coin is. But now let's talk about art. Let's talk about things that you are going to love and feel passionate about. Let's talk about the next generation of coins. Wow. The technology of today. Let's not wait 30 years until you guys can have this in your hands. Now, this is one of our Tiffany coins. It takes over 1 week of doing one side, of drilling on the tooling to get that detail. Wow. That's one side. For each side, a week. Now, let's talk about another coin.
Come on.
I know we want to leave the best for last, so that's amazing. We're using a technology that's called smart minting, which we can bring the material extremely high. How many of you guys seen those antique finished coins? Yeah. Okay, how many of you guys like them? Oh, yeah. Great. That technology comes from the house CIT. We developed the technology antique finish. Okay? Now, I'm going to explain to you why. This is the secret. You are here to learn and be ahead of the game, not behind it. Okay? So, the reason why antique finish was created because we wanted to create a coin in an extreme high relief. What does that mean? That means that the tooling has to punch many times on the coin in order to be able to bring it high. Now, using this antique finish technique, you take away certain mistakes that will be clear to the eye. That is why in extreme high relief, a proof coin, you're not going to see. You won't see proof in really high relief. Because that means that every time that they hit on the coin to get that height, it damages the coin. So Mitch are not really interested in doing something like this. So, I'm going to show you here baby rice. This is the first flower that never dies. And in this apartment, I want to bring you into the art, the passion, the love of collecting. Where you can feel proud of your collection. Where you can show it to your friends. They're not going to be laughing anymore. This is something that they can understand. Now, let me tell you something. When I started, and I go sometimes into colleges in Switzerland, I do a presentation, and I explain to them about technology of today. In fact, when I travel around the United States of America, one of the things that I always hear, the very first presentation that I do is at the airport. Because every time I come with my coins, they want to see them. And every time I see them, I hear the people say, hey, look, come here, take a look at this. I didn't know that this existed. And that's the proof that the people that are selling my coins in the United States of America are not doing a good job. Because if they would, those people who know what this is. Now, I come and I say to people, a coin is not just a coin. Coin is passion. It's love. And you can present it in all different kinds of ways. And when I end a presentation at the college or university, I say, listen, this is where we're at right now. For those of you that cannot see it well, I'll be with Miles. He'll be doing some signatures. You guys can pass by. I can show it to you. This is amazing. Take a look at that. It's amazing. You're going to see how the wings of the butterfly come out. Imagine what we can develop for you. Imagine what we can develop for you. Now, this is the technology of today. Now, my friend Miles came to me with an idea. He said, I presented him a coin because every time I develop, for me it's really important to get his background. What does he think about it? We're looking at America's #1 grader. It's for me important to find out from the grader's opinion, what does he think about this coin? I passed him this coin. Beautiful coin. It's up here. Okay? Passed him this coin. And the reason why I'm showing it to you here in proof is because I want you to know that this coin is mentioned. There is no inlet. Okay? But it's not a finished product. That, ladies and gentlemen, that's a finished product. If you see, it's done with, we do a service called black proof. Okay? And that is the coloring that makes it look like marble. Okay? Now, for those of you that want to see it live, again, I'll be with Miles and you guys can pass along and sign. You guys can look at it, take it, because now we got a surprise for you.
Like Oprah, everybody gets one.
Oh, listen. It's good.
You know, as my assistant always says, oh no, when he got out of the shower, he had another idea. She's been with me 22 years. She's heard them all first. So I had an idea, and it was about the Statue of Liberty. And if you look through American history and world history of any coins that have been made with the Statue of Liberty, you always look at Miss Liberty. And I said, but nobody has ever made a coin where you see the backside of Miss Liberty, which represents the past, the present, looking into the future. And I came to Orlando, and you see the start of it there, and that's just the box.
Remember we were talking about the signs? If you take a look at your badge, what do you see?
Statue of Liberty.
You see the t-shirts around the room?
Yeah.
The black shirts?
The black shirts.
Yeah.
So my vision basically, which had been a long time idea, was probably even before I met Orlando. I said, you know, I've worked with all these art designers and they've done Miss Liberty. You know, they've done the American Platinum series, they've done the 1986 Ellis Island with Statue of Liberty, and, you know, and I just said, you know, nobody's ever talked about looking from the view that maybe settlers or immigrants saw when they came into port. And that was where they were coming from behind them, but looking forward into their future. But we're coming up on obviously a significant week here in New York, so close. Who's known that an idea so long ago would be right here, right now? I mean, that's...
And remember, we were talking about this idea. Miles came to me to look at it. I have this vision, okay? And anybody that knows Miles knows that he'll send you back to the drawing board many times. So I he came and goes, look at that. I was like,
Is that a dodo bird? What kind of bird was that? That's a day in my head, right?
So we came and we passed designs back and forth until we finally, it was the way that he visionized this coin, which is just amazing. And we got it done. It's the very first Miles Standish coin ever done. His name is all over that product. His idea. Please give him a hand of applause.
Are you guys hearing this? This is an exclusive for 7K medals. We own all of them. Thank you, Miles Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, please also welcome to the stage founder Zach Davis to the stage. All right, how many of you are a little bit jacked up, excited about that one?
I'm still standing.
bad. So look, hold on, just stay right here for just a second. I want to make sure that you guys understand the gravity of what just happened.
This is big.
Okay? What president was the first president that Miles Standish worked under? Okay, and then who did he work with?
Ford.
And then who did he work with?
Bush.
And what did the current sitting president say about it?
Smartest man in the world.
And he's the vice president of what?
NGC.
And how long has he been working on this vision?
7 years.
So this is the very first coin that the vice president of NGC, the world's leading grader, has ever designed. Okay, it's got his initials on it. And he came to us and he said, I want to give you this coin as a gift. Orlando and the execution on the artwork. I really want you to feel the weight of this. Jason and Lance just went to a show in Chicago. It was a coin grading show. Jason, how many people were there?
A lot.
There's over 700 tables at the show, tens of thousands of attendees.
Tens of thousands of opinions, 700 tables. Okay? There was over $4 million in coins represented in this show.
Billion.
No, excuse me, billion with a B. Okay? Over $4 billion worth of coins represented in this show.
That's my thing.
Do you know how many other people on planet Earth that Miles could have chosen to release this coin to? And he chose you. Coins and what we're trying to do with people for financial future and for partnering with us in the future. We're super excited.
Did you tell them that we're not finished, huh?
Yeah, we're not done.
We're not done.
Now that I become a starving artist, I'm not done.
A series?
This is a 1 ounce done pure silver, 38.61, black proof. Smart minting, the highest release that you can possibly get in a 1 ounce. And we said, we gotta give it a partner. So we created a 2 ounce.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
That's beautiful.
A 2 ounce and a 1 ounce.
Now, I don't have to tell you that the gold coins have a very small limited edition. I've been sitting here and I've been listening to the different speakers. You guys are amazing. I can only agree with what you're saying. You guys heard about that 1,400,000 mistake? Don't make the same mistake.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first Miles Standish coin. One of America's best at what he does. Grading. He looks at for perfection. Every single detail on this coin has been thought for a long time until we brought it to life. So don't make that mistake. That's the first. Now, let's give this man a big applause and then ask him for the second edition.
All right, you guys, you excited?
Yeah!
Did we not tell you we were going to be doing this weekend? And did we deliver? Yes! Because of you. And because we believe in you. Right? So here's what I'd like to do. How many of you want to know how to get this coin? Yeah! Coins. These coins. So here's what I would like to do for a second, though, because I think it's appropriate at this moment because of where we're located. The timing was perfect with the release of these coins. The time was perfect with the release of this event. We're here on Long Island in New York. You know, in 2001, September 11th, at 8:45 in the morning, I was at home in,
He's ready for the first grade.
yeah, getting ready for first grade.
See what you started.
I had just come home from a 2-year mission for my church. I was working for my father. And I was up in Driggs, Idaho, which is just over the mountain from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I was standing on some scaffolding. My father's a contractor. And I was working on the Driggs Airport. We were rebuilding Harrison Ford's hangar. And airplanes just started dropping out of the sky on the runway. And we all thought, what in the world's going on? What's going on? And one of the hod carriers came around the corner and he said, the United States is under attack because a plane had flown into one of the World Trade Centers. I want you to look at this coin.
Yeah.
What do you see up there? Now, will you flip back to the previous coin? What skyline do you see there? Old Manhattan. Nobody can take your freedom. With tragedy and with terror comes fear and comes a loss of life. Roughly 3,000 people lost their life that day. We actually have somebody in the audience that was there that helped in the cleanup. But what's so significant, as my little brother just told me, is his wife will have their baby on Wednesday, which is September 11th. Life moves on. Looking into the past, away from the past, into the future with Tower One. So if we can, for maybe just a few moments, would it be all right if we just had a moment of silence for September 11th, the events that happened that day?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Amen.
Lady Liberty on Liberty Island, the Lady of Enlightenment. What we're doing here is we're enlightening the world. Are we not?
Yes.
Are we not teaching people how to have an unbelievable financial future?
Yes.
Are we not teaching people the empowerment and the enlightenment of gold and silver and what it can do for them?
Yes.
The opportunity to turn away from the past and look to a new future,
Yes.
just like America did for that day. You guys, this opportunity for us is unbelievable, and you and I have to seize the day. So how many of you would like to know how to get the coin? Or how to click it? Can you advance that? Go ahead and advance the slide.
Oh boy.
We're in trouble. Go on more. Go on more.
I got it.
You got it? Okay. So does anybody know when the town, or when the Statue of Liberty, the Lady of Liberty, was dedicated?
July.
It was October 28th of 1886. You need to remember those dates. Because with every story that has value in the future, or every coin that
That's what I'm saying.
And because it's limited. Because it's what?
Has a story and limited.
So, go ahead and dance. So the Statue of Liberty, Lady and Enlightenment of the World was dedicated October 29, 1886. The coin is done by Miles Standish. The 1 ounce coin will be $199. It will carry 10 points, and there will only be 1,886 of them. 1886. A very, very low vintage coin. Extremely unbelievable. Super high value in the future. Do you agree?
Yes.
Everybody say value. Value. Okay, that's the 1 ounce coin. The 2 ounce coin will be $299. It will carry 10 points. And its mintage will be October 28th. Or 1,028 coins. Very low mintage again. Alright? So if you want the coin, here's what we're going to do. The coin is being worked on. It is going to take several more weeks, months to finish the coin. So what we're doing today is we're allowing you to buy a ticket to be able to be the first people notified to buy the coin. Is that cool?
Cool.
Does coming to events have privileges?
Yes.
Absolutely it does. Okay, so what's going to happen is if you want the coin, you need to go to 7kliberty.eventbrite.com. It'll charge you $5 to reserve the coin. That's each. So if you want the 1 ounce coin, it's $5. If you want the 2 ounce coin, it's $5. And that's for as many coins as you want. Okay? If you want 2 coins, it's going to be $10. Okay, so if you want two 2 ounce coins, again, it's $10. Okay, so for every coin you want to reserve, it's $5. When the coin is produced and made, we will do the coin drop after we fulfill your orders. So if this one buys them all, you buy them all. Okay? So, how cool is that? So, 7kliberty.eventbrite.com. Go ahead and pre-order your coins right now. Let's give one more big round of applause for Miles Standish. Thank you. Safe travel home. Here's to your future. We believe in you. Thank you.